Hawaii. I'm Chuck Bowe, the Executive Director of the Hawaii International Film Festival, presented by Halekulani. We're thrilled to have Halekulani back for the second year in a row as our presenting sponsor. Finest hotel in Hawaii and probably in the entire world, my folks. So we're thrilled to have them as part of the HIFF team. It's a great relationship, and we look forward to even better cooperation in the future. I always love these events. I get to see all of my really good friends from, who I see about twice a year, I think. I'd like to see everybody more, but we usually see it at our two festivals, our small one in April and the big one now. So I welcome everybody. I see press here from throughout the world, from China, from Berlin, from Los Angeles, all over the place. So appreciate it so much, all of you being here on this beautiful day. We've assembled a great panel here today. I know you want to hear from all of them, so I'm going to try to talk less. And I'm going to introduce each of them quickly, and a couple special guests to introduce. Then I'll come back and I'll have each of them make a statement. Starting at the far end of the table, we have Princess Elizabeth Kawananakoa. She is the Vice President of the Board of Directors of Euro Cinema Hawaii. This is our third year working with Euro Cinema Hawaii, and we can talk to Liz a bit more about that wonderful cooperation. You also probably know Liz, not to describe her by her husband, but she's married to Prince Quentin Kawananakoa, very popular descendant of the royal family here in town. Next to her we have Ruth Bolin. She is the Director of Pacific Islanders and Communications, a longtime sponsor of HIFF. They have an extraordinary taste in their film support, the television shows that they back, and I can have her tell us a bit more about what their organization does. Next to her we have Georgia Skinner. Georgia brings an incredible wealth of experience to her role as Chief Officer of the State of Hawaii's Creative Industries Division within DBED. We're going to ask her a bit more about the division, and then we're working together more closely than ever on a couple of interesting projects that she can help describe. Next to her is Deborah Zimmerman, who has been a wonderful supporter of HIFF, and she's head of Women Make Movies, Executive Director of Women Make Movies. That organization has been instrumental in launching the careers of many of the most important female filmmakers in the world, especially in the United States. So we're helping celebrate their 40th anniversary this year with Deborah here. Very glad to have her back. She was here about 10 years ago. Finally, next to me, Chief Operating Officer of Halekulani Corporation, Peter Shainlin. Peter's been a wonderful person, a supporter of the film festival. As I said, the hotel, as our presenting sponsor, is just extraordinary. Peter's a man of ideas. He's always great to discuss potential things with. He's helped make our relationship just extraordinary. A lot of changes underfoot at HIFF this year, some additions and such. We've got a creative lab coming up that we can tell you more about. But in order to accomplish these things, we actually hired our first ever deputy director this year. And this gentleman had worked with us 12 years ago, and one night I thought, gosh, I need a deputy director. Whatever happened to that wonderful Robert Lambeth? He called me the next morning. He just moved back to Hawaii. So I believe it as ESP now, and I want to introduce that to probably embarrassing him, Robert Lambeth. Robert.
Thank you, Chuck. Good morning and welcome. As Chuck said, it was a bit of a serendipitous moment when I called him and said, hello, I'm back from London, and how are things going? And he did actually spend 2 hours convincing me to come back to the festival, and I'm very pleased to be here. It's been nice to see all the improvements and all the wonderful things that have happened since I left the islands. And I am very pleased to announce today the launch of our new Creative Lab. But before that, I would like to personally welcome all of our guests today. Thank you. Because everyone sitting here has participated in this new launch and will participate in this new launch in some way. The launch of the new Creative Lab is arguably one of the largest new initiatives we've had in the 32-year history of the Hawaii International Film Festival. By definition, the Creative Lab will be a gathering place where film, music, and technology come together in Hawaii so that local and visiting filmmakers, musicians, and innovators can collaborate on new and exciting creative content development. This year, in the launch, which will be expanded in 2013, this year in the launch, we're very pleased to have 6 workshops and seminars. They range everything from the SAG-AFTRA workshop, which will be led by the casting director for the Twilight Saga, Renee Haynes. And if you're an actor and you want to know what you should do in the business of acting, this is definitely the workshop for you. We actually, all the Creative Lab programs are free and open to the public. We initially set aside 100 seats for this, and we've just opened another 100 seats. We also have film composition from Composers World, Craft and Career, with Richard Bellis from ASCAP, and George Kosinopoulos, who is a well-known international agent. We will also be doing Digital Media Technology Summit, which you'll hear a little bit more about today. And we are very honored to have Leon Silverman from Disney Digital Studios leading that. We have Women Make Movies. Deborah Zimmerman will be here and celebrating the 40th year anniversary of that organization. So very excited to have her there. Meet the Director with Nate Cohn. Nate Cohn is the Associate Director of the Peabody Awards, and he's also the Festival Director for Ebert Fest. He will be here interviewing some of our nominated film directors from this year's program. We also have new media. How many of you are YouTubers out there? Anybody a YouTuber? We have some of the best well-known HIFF personalities here from the YouTube network, so we're very, very excited about that as well. The Creative Lab, in its definition to support local and visiting filmmakers, will tie very nicely to this year's recipient for the Vision in Film Award, which has been a great support from the City and County of Honolulu for many years. This year's recipient will be the Sundance Institute's Native program. For many years, since the early 90s, this program has done a remarkable job in supporting Native American filmmakers. And in 2013, HIFF is very pleased to announce that we will start our own Native program dedicated to the support of filmmakers and films made from and in the Pacific region. So if you were to think about Hawaii being in the middle of this hub, all the way down from our friends in New Zealand who are very engaged with us, all the way up to Alaska in a big circle, that will start in 2013. So we're very pleased that we have the support of the City and County to honor the Sundance Institute, and they are our mentors, and we're very, very pleased to announce this launch in 2013 and to announce the recipient for this year's Vision in Film Award. To talk more about that, I would like to introduce and welcome the esteemed Mayor Carlisle.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here. Of course, I try to call this the Honolulu International Film Festival for some strange reason. But I have to tell you, it was not long ago that I was a district attorney, and I used to go to Chinatown fairly regularly because of cases. And I always saw this strange bearded guy, and I couldn't quite figure out who he was, and everybody there tried to convince me that he was completely legitimate, that he had an important function, and I can say after now having been with Chuck and around him for probably about a decade, I'm not completely dispossessed of that original notion, but I do understand what he does, and I've got to tell you, the Creative Lab and Native program represents a giant leap forward for the Hawaii film industry and for the Hawaii International Film Festival. I think it's a remarkable accomplishment. I think we owe a lot of people who are right behind me right now, and maybe even over here, for this activity and this action, and it's something that we're all extremely excited about. I don't know if you know some of the things, but those of us who are interested in having people come over here and spend their hard-earned money, there are going to be over 200 films at the Honolulu International, the Hawaii International Film Festival from 43 countries, 27 world premieres, and 31 United States premieres. That is a remarkable accomplishment and something we should all be extremely proud of. There is no doubt that the Hawaii International Film Festival does have not only a global culture here in the islands, but it has a global presence throughout the world, and you can tell that quickly when you go to the Shanghai International Film Festival. While when you're walking down the red carpet, you have the eyes of somewhere between 600 million and 1 billion people looking at them, hearing about our film festival and its relationship with that august institution as well. The Vision of Film Award is being given to someone this year who has a unique perspective on the nurturing and development of talent and a diverse voice in the industry. So that's something else that we're proud of. But what I think they really want me here for, you know, I can sit here and they'll let me talk as long as I want because I have a check for them. We have been sponsoring the film festival for 32 years. And this year, considering the new leap forward with the Creative Lab and Native program, it is my privilege, even these austere times coming from somebody who is renowned as the cheapest mayor on the planet Earth, we are going to be giving the International Film Festival $20,000 for what they do. It is money well spent for an institution that we should all be remarkably proud of. So thank you, gentlemen, for helping this, and thank you, Chuck, for being so endlessly involved and enthusiastically and passionately involved in this. And thank you for coming back to Honolulu. We greatly appreciate your presence. Thanks. Good to go. Does anybody want more pictures of me? Thanks,
I think I told you my story. Someone who worked at the festival once tried to go to the bank and cash one of these. It won't work. I shouldn't keep trying. But thanks, Mayor Carlisle. We've spent some time together in Los Angeles, for example. Boy, can he work a room. He was just, I remember us descending on Steven Spielberg, whose promise he's going to come some year. So thank you for your support of arts and culture, the Hawaiian National Film Festival, very much. Really appreciate that. Thank you. Let's move on to the panel and have some talk. I'm going to start with Georgia Skinner, because we were talking about the creative industries, the creative lab that we're doing at HIFF. And Georgia has been instrumental in discussions and thought, as has Malaya Constantino from the City Film Office. But first of all, why don't you just a bit about what the creative industry branch does? I'm not sure if people know that.
Sure, thank you very much, Chuck. Aloha and good morning, everyone. The Creative Industries Division is comprised of the Hawaii Film Office, helmed by Donnie Dawson, and our Arts and Culture Development Branch. We focus on the development and advancement of all of our creative content developers. So that means the arts, culture, music, literary arts, film, television, and new media. New and digital media is a new frontier, and I think it's really empowering, and I'm sure you'll hear that from other panelists, empowering our storytellers here in Hawaii. And with the success of the film The Descendants, based on a book from Hawaii, filmed in Hawaii, and integrated with wonderful music from Hawaii, that really sums up what Creative Industries is about and what we're trying to achieve here, I think. We really support the whole concept of Creative Lab, and you know, Hawaii is